Hi there, Year 8. One or two people have been in touch about some of the apply questions in Ratio 6 lesson, so I'm just going to go through a couple of those with you now. So the first question I'm going to look at from the apply section is question 11, which is to do with the ratio and the cost of a drink. So there's a few things going on that I think make this question a little bit more difficult. For starters, we are dealing with the litres of a drink, and 3 litres does not divide nicely into that ratio. We also then have the issue of one of the monies being in pence and one of the monies being in pounds, so we need to resolve that problem as well. So, the first thing that I would consider when I was doing this question would be to turn the 3 litres of drink into millilitres to begin with. So, 3 litres of drink is equal to, well, there's 1,000 millilitres in a litre, so that is 3,000 millilitres. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to consider the ratio that I'm splitting it into, which is 1 to 4, and that is 5 parts in total, 1 plus 4. So what I need to do is split my 3,000 millilitres into 5 parts. So 3,000 divided by 5, remember the little mental trick, divide by 10 and double, is 600 millilitres. Now I just need to double check what the number 1 and the number 4 correspond to. So number 1 is orange juice, and number 4 is lemonade. So I'll abbreviate orange juice OJ. So there's 1 part, which is 600 ml orange juice, and 4 parts lemonade. So lemonade is 4 times 600, and that is 2,400 millilitres. Okay, now we have the cost per litre. These are in millilitres, so I'm now going to turn them back into litres, and I get 0.6 litres and I get 2.4 litres. You could have bypassed turning it into millilitres and gone straight from 3 to 0.6 and 2.4. It all depends how comfortable you are dividing and ending up with decimals. So we now know that the 3 litres of my drink is split into 0.6 of orange juice and 2.4 of lemonade. We know that lemonade is 80p per litre. I'm going to turn that into pounds. So I need to do 2.4 times 0.8. Okay, you could use a calculator to do this if you're not confident. You could use a written method. But 2.4 times 0.8, I believe, comes out as 1.92. So that will be the cost of the lemonade, £1.92. And for the orange juice, we need to do 0.6 times 1.2. And if you do that, that comes out as 72 pence. So altogether, if we add that up, 2 add 2 is 4, 7 and 9 is 16. So £2.64. The second question that I'm going to look at is question 14. And I must say, when I first read this question yesterday, I actually did it wrong. I misread the question. It's very easy to misread something, and then the maths that you do is completely wrong. So let's read it through. It says in 2017 there were 460 guests, and in 2017 the number of guests is 15% greater than 2016. Okay, now the mistake that I made was I misread this as 2016. Okay, So this is actually something called a reverse percentage question, which makes this actually quite difficult. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of time to explain how you can start this question. So we know that 2017, let me write it over here, okay, that is 460, okay, and what we need to know is what the number is for 100% in 216, okay. Now what you can't do is just find 15% and take it off, because 15% of this number is not the same as 15% of what it is that we're trying to find out what's going on in 2016. So what you need to think about is, if I'm starting with whatever this number is and adding 15%, then I would get over here a number that is represented by 115%, because 100% plus 15% is 115%. So this number here, the 460, represents what 115% is. So how can I use that information to get back to what 100% is? Well, let's just set up a little equation. So I'm going to say 115% equals 460. If I want to work out 1%, I would divide by 115, because 115 divided by 115 equals 1. And I can do that over here. 460 divided by 115 is a really nice number. It goes in exactly 4 times. So I can get back to my 100% by timesing by 100. So I now know, 4 times 100 being 400, that originally in 2016 there were 400 people. And you can just quickly check this now by adding 15%. 10% is 40, 5% is 20, so 15% is 60, and that's now working. 400 add 15% is 460. So it's the number 400 that I need to split in the ratio 5:3. Well, let's look how many parts there are. In the ratio 5:3, there are 8 parts. So I'm splitting 400 into 8. And 400 divided by 8 is 50. So each part is worth 50 guests. And then it's asking me how many guests stayed in the caravan. So it's caravan to staying in a tent. So it is this 5 parts. So I need 5 times 50, which is 250 guests. So I hope that little video helps out. Remember, if there's any more questions you want a little bit more explanation to, just get in touch and I'm more than happy to make a little video about them. For the time being, take care. Speak to you soon.